my name is Aaliyah Booble. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. And today is a sequel to the last video I posted where I did a Colourpop haul and then a pinky makeup look. And here I have the other palette from that haul, and we are going to be doing a orangey, like yellowy look today. Here's the story that goes along with this Orangey Glad palette. My first Colourpop purchase was a bunch of their 9 pans, and they were on sale for like $7 or $8, so I got like a lot of them. But the Orangey Glad palette was sold out, and I just never got around to buying it since. And so I was doing the order that I did for the last video, and I saw that the Orangey Glad palette was available, and so I was like, should I get it, should I not? And I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, so I called out my sister, and I was like, I don't know what to do, and she went, well, if you don't like it, I'll buy it off of you. And I was like, oh, because that's like a money back guarantee, right? If I don't like the palette, she will pay me back full price for the palette. So I was like, boom, we're getting it. And here we go, we have it. So here's the box. It says Colourpop Orangey Glad. This is like an orangey metallic, and then this is like a bright orange. But anyway, this is the box, and on the back it just has all the shades in that same shiny orange metallic stuff. I don't know, foil, what is it? And the palette looks the exact same as the box. It's the exact same. There's a sticker on the back with all the shades, and then you open it up, and this is one of the plastic Colourpop palettes, but not all Colourpop palettes have the mirror on top. But as you know, I am partial to the mirror because it makes everything just easy to do it all at once. You can do your makeup while you're holding the palette. So inside we have all these different shades of orange. There's like a brighter orange, there's some more brown oranges, and then there's a zested color, which is just like a really nice pale orange. So we will be using that later on in this video, and I will probably end up pairing this palette with the Adeline Warren X Tarte palette, just because there are also some good oranges in this one, but we will see. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our makeup, and I'm going to start with the Flower in Your Prime Illuminating Primer. This thing's like a decade old, don't know where I got it from, but it's fine. It's just a nice shimmering color, and I'm just spreading that all along my face with a beauty blender. I put on moisturizer today, like twice, and I'm so mad because no matter how much moisturizer I put on that skin between my eyebrows, it was still flaky, and I was so angry. Okay, so now that we have our primer on, we're gonna go ahead and move over to our foundation. So I use the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hydrolonic Foundation. It's very pretty, it's very aesthetic. I feel like a beauty guru, like I feel like I'm a beauty guru. And I use the shade Light 33C. I am pale, so we're just gonna put a little bit of that on our beauty blender. Then we're just gonna go ahead and go right in. So now moving on to our concealer, I use the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer in the shade Fair 10N. Now technically I'm not supposed to use this shade because it is a neutral shade and I am a cool tone, but they didn't have my foundation in stock when I went to the store, so I just decided that I was going to get this foundation anyway. And it is quite a bit brighter. I like having a highlighted face. And so now to do contour, I just do a little bit of light contour. I'm going to be using this Pretty Fresh Concealer Colourpop in the shade 105N. It's a medium shade, and I'm just going to be putting it on the hollow of my cheekbones and then the hollow of my skull. There we go. And then I'm going to go back in, and I'm just going to do a little second layer of this concealer right in the hollow of my cheekbones. And then I'm going to run a little line under my jaw because I do not have a jaw. I wish I did, but I do not. A little bit of setting powder. This is the L'Oreal True Match. I ordered a fair powder from Colourpop because I figure if I'm gonna use their foundation, I might as well go in and use their powder. I really feel like I'm on one of those Vogue videos right now. Like I'm living for it. I'm gonna go in with this Bombshell bronzer right here. I'm gonna use that, put it in the hollow of my cheeks, and just kind of buff it out. Again, that's going to help create more of a definition. So moving on, I'm going to finish up the rest of my face by going in with my Adeline Morin X Tarte palette, and I'm going to use her highlighting shade called Promise Ring. I absolutely love this highlighter. It's so sparkly, it's so shimmery, and it can be dusted on very lightly, or it can, you know, be put on with a whole lot of shabam. And then I'm gonna go in with my finger and just kind of accentuate the nose just a little bit more. We are going to start out with the Orangey Glad palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Creamsicle, and I'm going to be using that to just create a nice base layer shade. You essentially want to go all the way up to your brow bone, and you're just creating a nice sweeping shade. That's just to set the color. This is doing a very nice wash, and I'm going to stick to more of a round shape because oranges are round versus a angular shape. But if you want to do a more angular shape, I say go for it. Okay, so I sort of messed up, but we're gonna go with it. So I just took a little bit of Squeeze Me, and I'm just gonna run it really fast over this color to make it shiny, because I did that by mistake, but it doesn't actually look bad. So next I'm going to be going in with Mimosa Mommy, and I'm just going to be putting that on the bottom. Ooh, that's bright. There's a little bit of fallout. Actually, there's a lot of bit of fallout. And then kind of sweep it underneath to the bottom of your eye. There's a good bit of fallout with this one, I will say. I didn't notice a lot of fallout with the other ones, but this one is having a good bit of fallout, so just be wary of that. Okay, so again, I'm essentially working this into a round shape. I'm not gonna go so much for angular, but it's not a perfect circle. Like, it is kind of coming to a little bit of a point just to match my eye shape. And again, don't forget to bring this underneath your eyes. It's just gonna make the whole look more complete. And now we're gonna go in with this color called You Peel Me. It's this sort of brownie color. Yeah, there's a good bit of fallout on this one. And we're just gonna work that into the crease, and then you're also gonna take it and you're gonna work it into just that little bottom corner of your eye right here. It's almost like you're putting your brush in the corner of your eye, and that's just gonna again create a little bit of definition in your eye. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but this is all orange because of the fallout, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of concealer. So that is a con of this palette. That bright fluorescent orange is having a good bit of fallout, so you might want to be careful with that. So moving along, I am going to be taking the color Tangerine Dreams. It's a nice shimmer shade. And we're going to be putting this only on the center of our eye, inner corner of our eye. We want to leave that free. Kind of even out the color, I'm going to go over a little bit with Squeeze Me on the top. Squeeze Me is a little bit more of an orange color, and this one's a little bit more of a gold color. Tangerine Dreams, obviously because I'm Tangerine. And then I'm going to go back in with Mimosa Mommy and blend those two colors together. Kind of just work back and forth as needed. Okay, and then we're going to move over to the Adeline X Tarte palette, and I'm going to be using the Girls Supporting Girls bright yellow color. I'm just going to be popping that in the center of my eye. I will say this color has a lot of fallout too, and it's kind of powdery, so just be careful. And then we're going to take this yellow and we're going to run it all the way under our eyes. And then of course, as always, just sort of blend them out, make sure the colors kind of go back together. You can go in with Tangerine Dream and just sort of blend those two colors together. I'm getting a little annoyed. It's like the third time I've had to put concealer on, but it's fine. Just note that these two are definitely have a good bit of fallout, so that's not like the greatest thing in the world. Okay, so I'm back with the Honey palette. Honey. That was like I ran it all together. I'm going to take a little bit of this color Palooza. I'm going to take this little flat angular brush. I'm going to go in with this Palooza color, which is pressed powder. And I am just going to put that in the inner corner of my eyeshadow and work it all the way up to the yellow from the Adeline Morin palette. And then kind of just fade it out into that Tangerine Dreams color. You can also work this under the eye all the way back to where we put the yellow too. Just be careful, of course, because glitter in the eye does hurt a lot. Of course, this is cosmetic glitter, but that is not going to be your saving grace. See, now it's very bright and sparkly. There's a couple that are falling. I think one thing with glitter that you kind of just have to be careful of is just realize that it's going to be kind of messy. So that was a little bit using the honey palette. I always say that in like one word. It's supposed to be dash honey, and I go honey. It's like Okay. Moving on, I am going to go off camera and do my eyeliner because me doing my eyeliner is an entire fiasco. There's a lot of swear words that are said. I cry a little bit. I do it several times, so I will be right back. Okay, so as promised, many tears were shed. I still kind of don't like it, but my philosophy with eyeliner is just ignore it and move on. I'm going to take my favorite mascara, which is the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. It's kind of clumpy, but it's almost the good kind of clumpy. It definitely lengthens your lashes. You just have to be careful because it can get a little messy. There have been many times when I've gotten little black flecks on my eyeshadow, but it definitely does lengthen and thicken your eyes. I don't like using falsies just because they're not practical to me, so I would much rather go in with a really good mascara. So like, see the difference? So I recommend the Lash Paradise. Don't forget the corner of your eyes. Okay, well my lashes look great. There's a spot on my nose we're gonna have to get. Now we're gonna go again back to the Adeline Warren X Tarte, and I'm just gonna take my finger, go right over that Promise Ring shade, and just put it right here on your brow bone just to create a little bit of shimmer. And you want to do this before you do your brows, because if you do it afterwards, you'll essentially just ruin the brows that you worked really hard for. Speaking of brows, we're gonna go ahead and move on to those. So I was blessed with some dark brows as a baby. I've had eyebrows ever since I was born, so I just take the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel in the shade Soft Black, and I just sort of fluff up my brow hairs. So this is just kind of setting your brows with a little bit of color, but you don't actually like fill your brows in. And for me that works, and like you can already see a bit of a difference. Moving on, we are going to be moving on to the lips. Okay, so off camera I went ahead and put on this LA Colors Pout Lip Gloss Matte, and it was in the shade, I don't think there's a shade. There's not a shade, but it's red. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So it was just a red. I tried to kind of make it look like a very fiery, pretty color, and then I popped my nose ring back in. So I'm just gonna go ahead, take out my little clips, and we'll be done with this makeup look. So let me just fluff up my hair. It's very important. And we are done with this makeup look. So it's just a very fiery, sparkly, you know, reddish orangey color makeup look, and I really liked it. So in conclusion, the Orange and Glad palette, I do like it. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite palette. I'm not a very big fan of orangey reds, even though I'm wearing this lip. So I don't know if I will keep it, but I did notice that it had a good bit of fallout, and I didn't notice that with the Cloud Spun that I did in the last video, but there was a lot of fallout. But I mean, overall, I think it's a nice palette. I'm not someone who's gonna use orange every day, but if you are, it's probably a great palette for you. Just remember that there is fallout. But I think that that is the end of the video. I think we're done. We did the makeup, we did the review, check, we're good, okay. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts on the palette, other videos you want me to try. I'm going to be having a Colourpop haul again pretty soon because I ordered more stuff. Because I have a problem, but if there's makeup you'd like me to try, videos you'd like me to do, looks you'd like me to attempt, please let me know in the comment section down below, and subscribe, and then you can keep watching videos by me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Bye! That was so fake. Bye! Bye, guys.